Campaign notes. Some players take them, some players don't. And then sometimes you get an amazing player who will literally doodle their entire adventure, creating a lovely illustrated journal of what happened in the game. And that's what I'm going to go over today. So this player is actually like a professional artist, designer person. All of these doodles were done literally within seconds as I was describing stuff in game. So it's some pretty amazing stuff. So we're going to take a quick look and see if I remember what all these are regarding. The Hag, okay, yeah. So this, I believe, is one of the first sessions. You can see I was introducing concepts like half speed, which you can see in the middle of there. Second Amendment, I have no idea what that's referring to. Oh my god, talking horse. I think that was because somebody managed to turn into a horse. You can see on the top there, slight tension, people are chill. So just the interpretations of the kind of setting I was giving there. I don't know where the pig mask came in. Maybe... I have no idea. I have no idea where that came from. There's like Lucky Charms because of the necklace. Because the necklace was called the Charm of Trevorn. So as the notes helpfully drew in Lucky Charms to remember Charm of Trevorn. That's that's pretty good. Let's see here. Okay, so again, there is you'll notice like the big thing is the wolf lady picture. There was a character named, I believe, just the wolf, and it was kind of the classic thing where like the leader of this like really rough group of barbarians was like a young lady, but they called her like the wolf. So you expected, you know, it was kind of like that was kind of a hacky thing, but it's the interpretation of the wolf lady literally being like a wolf or a person wearing maybe like a wolf helmet or something. You know what? I think I actually did describe her as wearing a wolf pelt. So this is the interpretation of that character. Level 4, again, most of the written notes are kind of like mechanical stuff. You can see the start of the plan here that the group started, where they would do a supply wagon, which would have foods and supplies, which they would collaborate with the druids, creating good vibes, and then creating the food hero, where they would be celebrated as the heroes of Trevorn for providing food. They were already branding the food that they were going to be bringing into the town. One of the biggest plot hooks in this entire campaign is that the entire town was sort of under a famine. So that's where they came up with this idea. And then, of course, they were already planning their statues that they were going to get. And then this is where the infamous Saltina Soup Kitchen, because they converted their wagon into a soup kitchen. So they were going to provide food to everybody in town. Baldovan is one of the main characters in the Trevorn campaign. And I did my Jesse Ventura voice when I was doing that character. Hot dog, I don't know where the giant hot dog came in. I don't remember that. I don't know. This is the interpretation of one of the enemies. Just a zombified... One of the enemies is on the right, and then the zombified person is just a zombie on the left here. So you can see that's an NPC that they resurrected using, I think, a magical item or something. And then it just, like, immediately it died to a trap because one of the doors was trapped. So, yeah. And then, like, the Mercury was because these were, like, Mercury zombie characters that were happening. So this new page is basically the what eventually became the Phenomenalopolis dungeon crawl, which the system neutral version you can get if you're a member of this channel. This is kind of like it's kind of a mixed bag. I've heard the people compare it to like a Fallout style adventure. I had a bit of a plot hook where one of the player characters' mother cursed them to have to go on to this quest to go into Phenomenalopolis, which is a place that nobody ever comes back from. The Soup Wagon, of course, this is the same group that was in Trevorn. And then the interpretations of the The interpretations of the robots is pretty hilarious. If you're wondering why there's a potato that's transposed over a battery, that's because there was a random item. It was just a random item thing. So I used my D100 bric-a-brac thing, and one of the things was like a potato of something. So yeah, so this character, the person who drew these notes ended up carrying around that potato for the rest of the adventure, thinking that it was something important, and it literally was just a random item that they found. But yeah, that happens. Okay, these notes are from a game that I just played in. Snurk Scaleshanks, which is my character. You can see the lovely rendition of that there, obviously. The bard. Once again, the soup wagon was there. There's my character being very angry. Again, lovely descriptions of spells and whatnot. This is more of the Phandalin adventure. That was a monster who just kind of went away after the fight happened. It was a green slime. That was the interpretation of the green slime. More Phandalin stuff. This was like the table thing. That table was just because, like, there was just a random picture that the DM used with a small table. And, like, immediately I made it my character's thing that he really wanted that table because it was, like, perfectly, like, my size because it was a low, like, it was just a low table and it seemed like it'd be something perfect. So, yeah. Player was doing their best trying to keep up with all the different names and stuff that the official books throw at you. You want to focus in on what they care about. So that's a DM tip there. It's just, like, you don't necessarily have to go into granular detail. It's good that you always have the granular detail available, but sometimes it's good if you just focus on the stuff that the players are interested in. The cow thing, there was I believe there was just a dairy in Phandalin, and you know, obviously, special interest of this player that went into deep detail about all the cows and the butter skulls and whatnot, and then the pig. I believe that's going to be in the next picture here. Yes, there it is. Go, pig! Yes, the classic... Got a pig and used the classic Minecraft carrot on a stick thing to make the pig run around as a mount for this character. Classic stuff. Oh, yeah, he exploded the tree with a spell, and that's where the nuclear bomb image came from. Bread roll, of course. Gatorade. Very important stuff. Spooky reactions. Again, the reaction pictures is really amazing. That there's just like I believe this was a Strahd campaign in Barovia. Sad Woman, Mad Mary, obviously. Valakia, the empty carriage, which was very confusing to the players. The squid was because they still had an item from my nautical style campaign where it just kept on turning them into random sea creatures, and they kept on using it despite the fact it was random. Barlgura. Now, there was a whole thing with the Barlgura, and why this player decided to put the Barlgura into water wings and a floaty, I don't know. I don't remember that. Apparently, character got a big sword. Barrel attack is because they found the demon barrel thing, and they decided to use that as like a weapon later down the road. A bomb and a pie. I guess that was another plan that happened. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I think it's interesting to look over your players' notes and... You know, if your player does have notes, I think it would be nice for them to kind of share that with the DM, just so the DM knows what's working, what's not, what the players are interested in, what it's not. And it's always just amazing if you have a player who has the talent to do little doodles like this on the fly, creating an amazing illustrated journal of their adventures through your thing. So this was a lot of fun. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions or anything else, let me know in the comments below.